Stop smiling, Rebecca. Rebecca is one of, if not the most cheerful engine on the island of Sodor. She likes to see the best in everyone and everything, and is extremely friendly and kind. As a result, she has lots of friends, and is particularly close with Gordon and Henry.
Good morning, Gordon.
And a jolly good morning to you too, Rebecca.
Hello, Henry.
Afternoon, Rebecca. However, although Rebecca does have lots of friends, some engines find her constant cheeriness to be rather annoying, especially devious Diesel. One morning, Rebecca was waiting for Charlie to shunt her a train of trucks to take to Brendam Docks, when she saw Diesel shunting some tankers in a siding.
Good morning, Diesel. Lovely day, isn't it?
There's hardly anything lovely about it. I have to take these tankers to the dairy. Such meagre work.
Oh, well, I'm sure it won't be that bad.
Diesel was about to reply, but then Charlie shunted Rebecca's trucks behind her. Here are your trucks, Rebecca!
Thanks, Charlie. Bye, Diesel. Hope to see you soon.
As soon as Rebecca left, Diesel grunted with disgust.
Humph! It's just so unnatural to be that happy. Rebecca's always so cheerful about everything. Just once, I'd like to see her in a bad mood.
Then, Diesel came up with a very devious idea. He was going to see if he could get Rebecca to stop smiling. So when he got back to the Diesel works that night, Diesel thought of all the things that annoyed him. He was sure one of them would annoy Rebecca too.
Something is bound to make Rebecca upset. Ha 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 ha!
Diesel, are you laughing in your sleep again?
The next morning, Diesel thought of one of the things that annoyed him. Animals blocking the line. So once he passed a nearby farm, he asked his driver to open the gate. The driver was quite skeptical of this, but Diesel insisted. So he opened the gate, and a large flock of sheep rushed out and onto the line.
There, that's sure to get Rebecca in a bad mood.
Diesel hurried away and hid behind some trees so no one would see him. Soon he could see Rebecca coming. When she saw the sheep, she braked hard and stopped just in time. In fact, Duck ended up having to do the same from the other direction.
Boss my buffers! We're never going to be on time with these sheep blocking the line.
Never mind, Duck. We can just reverse and go a different way.
Good idea, Rebecca. Anything's better than sitting here for hours on end.
So Rebecca and Duck reversed to take different routes. And Rebecca still seemed content with this, so when Diesel saw what happened, he was furious.
What? Impossible! That should have worked!
So Diesel thought of something else that he didn't like: losing in races. So that afternoon, he challenged Rebecca to a round of races. And of course, being the devious engine he is, he cheated. But Rebecca, who was oblivious to this, didn't seem all that bothered that he won. Diesel won every single race they had, but Rebecca still kept a smile on her face.
Well done, Diesel. Thanks for racing me again.
And Rebecca puffed away to her next job. Diesel growled furiously. But then, he thought of something else that might make Rebecca upset. Getting wet. He knew Henry never used to like it, so he was sure Rebecca wouldn't. So that night, Diesel asked his driver to tie a bucket of water to a rope and place it on the roof of Knapford Station for when Rebecca prepared to leave the next day. That way it would land on her and get her wet. But the next morning, when Rebecca left the platform, the bucket didn't fall. Diesel was shocked at this.
What? How can this be?
He hurried over to the platform, but then the bucket dropped and the water splashed all over him instead. Duck and Fergus were nearby, and they guffawed with laughter.
Taking a bath, are you, Diesel?
Here's a bit of advice though. Next time, why not use a garden hose instead?
Diesel didn't think it was very funny. Then he thought of another idea. Queues. So later, he stopped at a refueling area that was close to a water tower and stayed there. This ended up causing a queue, which made the engines very cross.
Come on, Diesel.
Some of us have got work to do.
Especially important engines like me.
Soon, Diesel caught a glimpse of Rebecca puffing into the queue. He was sure she'd be upset now. The engines were growing more and more impatient. At last, Edward had an idea.
Come on, guys, let's just come back another time. It's not worth getting this worked up about it.
You know, Edward does have a point. This is to be expected of Diesel after all.
Well, anything's better than standing here.
No truer words have ever been spoken. So the engines puffed away. Diesel smirked with triumph. But when he decided he'd spent enough time holding everyone up, he was surprised to see that everyone was having a friendly conversation with Rebecca as if nothing had happened.
Well, I'm glad no one's too upset about what just happened with the queue.
Well, you do have a habit of making everyone happy by just showing up, Rebecca. You're like our own little ray of sunshine.
Oh, she's more than just a ray of sunshine, Edward. She's the entire sun.
I couldn't agree more. Rebecca blushed and giggled. Diesel was livid. He decided he would have to take matters into his own hands. Or Buffer's in this case. So he came up with another devious plan. The next day, he saw Paxton and decided to tell him something.
Hey, Paxton, do you know what Rebecca says about Daisy behind her back?
What does Rebecca say about Daisy behind her back?
She calls her green grass.
When Paxton heard this, he hurried away to tell someone else. Diesel cackled with delight. His plan was to start a rumor so that Rebecca would get into trouble. Paxton told the story to Norman, who told Dennis, who told Derek, who told Philip, who told Sydney. Sydney then went to tell Daisy, but of course, being the forgetful engine he is, he got it muddled up. And Rebecca said that Diesel calls you green grass.
Ew, does he now?
So the next time Daisy saw Diesel, she raced up to him and gave him a big bump. This caused Diesel to slide off the rails and crash through a fence. Diesel's front wheels were damaged from hitting the fence so hard, so he would have to go to the Diesel works to get them fixed. Then he heard a whistle, but he was quite upset when he saw who it was.
Hello, Diesel. Oh dear, that looks like a nasty accident. Not to worry, I'll go and get Rocky to lift you out.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Soon, Rebecca brought Rocky, and Diesel was lifted out of the field. Rebecca even offered to take him to the Diesel works, so she got a flatbed and took Diesel to get repaired. Diesel did have to admit that Rebecca was being very kind to him. But did she manage to cheer him up? Of course not! No more than Diesel can upset Rebecca.